Hi everyone, this is me today recording this after the fact as it were. So in this video you're going to see me refer quite a few times to a patch or a patch that came out a few days ago. When I'm talking about that patch, I'm referring to the one that was in December. This video was originally recorded right before Christmas, before I got the job, before I had to stop making content. So yeah, when I'm speaking about a patch or about updates and that kind of thing, I'm referring to that patch. So wait, that makes it a little confusing, but yeah, while I'm speaking about that patch. The video was actually recorded before Christmas, like I said, so that's what that is, so you don't get confused. I just thought I'd clear that up before you watch the video. But welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you can enjoy the content again on this channel. Thank you very much for subscribing and watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello everybody and welcome back to our Barcelona playthrough. Now it was going to become a playthrough essentially after the first season. We were going to do our testing, try and get the tactic as close as we could, and then basically it was going to become more like a normal save afterwards, right? The patch happened day before yesterday as I'm recording this, so I'm not sure how far you're going to be behind when you finally see it, but that means basically we go back into the second season now, doing the same thing as we did in the first. Let's get into our transfers and how we did. And the first game I played in this season here, that you can see we played one game, we won 5-0 against Athletic Bilbao. So before we get into the actual names of the players that we brought in this season, you can see here that we spent 278 million, which is quite a lot. But we brought in 328 million in transfers. So we've actually done pretty well for our transfers. And most of the players that we've bought have been paid for up front as well, which is important because of the debt that we have. Now, let's just get this out of the way. Erling Haaland, yep, he's in. He came in for a lot of money. I wanted to bring in a left-footed wing originally to replicate Messi a little bit more, and when it came to left-footed quick forwards, he was the only player that was really available that we could get, and I thought it's a lot of money, it's a lot of wages, and maybe not the best financial decision considering the place we were in, but the amount of money we were going to bring in from other players that we were selling, there were just so many players that we were getting rid of that was going to help pay for him quite easily. He comes in for 72 million, I think 50 of it is up front, or quite a lot of it is up front, so it's a pretty good deal. World-class striker. In Pep's second season, he brought in Zlatan, so I guess he's like our Zlatan, but he can also play on the right-hand side and cutting on his left, which is, we may use him for that as well, especially if his agility and dribbling goes up. Hector Bellerin comes in as our backup right-back. Pretty pacey, comes in for just £5 million. What a signing. Very, very cheap on the wages as well, which is important for us, and I think pretty solid for what we're trying to do. Jose Guy, he comes in for a lot of money. He comes in for £40 million. I just thought, he's 27, I suppose, but I just thought an attacking left-back, quick, plays in the Spanish League already, homegrown, fits everything that we want, and will be a starting left-back for us, I would think, for at least the next 3 seasons. Gaetano Castrovilli, I wanted a backup central midfield player. I want to use Gavi, Pedri as starting players this season, so I didn't want anybody too good. I wanted somebody cheap that could come in and do a good job for us if we needed them to, and I've mentioned Castrovilli before in a different save, but I just think he's a brilliant player. I think he's a really brilliant, underrated player. When I say I don't want anybody too good, I don't want anybody too good in terms of reputation. I wanted somebody who's good on the stats, good on the attributes, but not too much in reputation. Comes in for £8.75 million, and he's just fantastic as a backup central midfield player for us. Karim Adeyemi comes in as our left-footed winger, £10 million, cheap alternative on the wings for us. Dominik Livakovic, how do you pronounce that? He comes in as our starting goalkeeper. I think you're going to see that somebody's been sold. Yeah, we sold to Stegen, and I wanted somebody who could come in, and the big thing I always look at in goalkeepers as a foot manager is positioning. I think on the last foot manager in particular, this played a big part on how they were positioned on crosses and shots and things like that, and it seemed like if they're bad positioning, doesn't matter how good the rest of their stats were, shots were just flying against them. I thought it was important to get a keeper with good positioning, and he was cheap. He comes in for £7.5 million, 56 grand a week. That's pretty good for a starting goalkeeper for Barcelona. Josko, and I know you don't pronounce every single letter in this last name, but if you do, it's Guardiola, something like that. He comes in for a lot of money. He comes in for 25 million, actually. It wasn't too much. So pretty cheap, actually, considering. I thought it was a lot more than that. He's just a brilliant, I think, ball-playing defender. He's young. His positioning can go up a little bit. It was already 11, I think. At the start of the game, he starts off on 11, and his agility starts off on 10. So he's not really improved his agility. He's improved his positioning by 1. I think he's going to be an excellent central defender for us. 14 pass and 12 vision. He's going to be a great left-footed ball-playing defender as well. So he comes in, and he's going to be, hopefully, a good player for us for the next decade, I guess. And this is the last one. Youssoufa Moukoko. Looks like it's going to be a big transfer. He actually cost us £40 million. And I, again, go back to that sort of left-footed winger I was looking for. He looked like he could be a really good option for us to play on the left-hand side, or right-hand side rather, as a left-footed player cutting in. So a combination of him and Haaland will take turns rather at doing that. He's only 17. model citizen, perfect player to come in for us. And yeah, again, if he had cost us 120, I wouldn't have bothered because I don't think we needed to buy a player like that for that much money at this stage. But for 40, great. And that is it for players in. Now, players out, you're going to see a long list here, starting off with Jordi Alba, and you just see all these players leaving. And remember the wages that they were all on, right? So you have Jordi Alba going, Coutinho's gone, Memphis Depay went, Ter Stegen went, Dembele went, Griezmann went. Like, that's a lot of players gone. It goes into this season, or the way it's counted this season. Pjanic has gone, Aguero's gone. Like, just so many players have gone and freed up wages. So financially, we're looking very, very good. 189 million overall balance, which is great. Debt's gone down to 668 million, and transfer debt's only 41 million. Now that's fantastic to only have that at this stage. And the only reason we went a little bit into that, I think, was because of Erling Haaland, which is definitely going to be worth it, I think. And yeah, we're looking like we've got a pretty good squad of players here all of a sudden. And in today's episode, we are going to play against Real Sociedad at home, who did have that unbelievable run last year with their possession. In my other testing, I've noticed a few things. I'm going to try and keep it roughly the same because we were looking at the tactic at the back end of last season. Now let's see how it starts off, and let's go through the changes again together. Maybe I'll notice some different things playing as Barca in the Spanish League instead. So I'll see you in a second then for the Sociedad game. Okay, one injury since we last spoke a few seconds ago. Lacroix's now out for 3 to 4 weeks. It was 5 weeks a second ago. So the team for today's game then is going to be Livakovic in goal, Lazari, Garcia, Josko and Guy at the back, Ndombele, Gavi and Pedri in the middle, Moukoko, Fati and Haaland up front. That's a very young team. Assistant manager says, pick up where you left off. And early on here, 56% possession. I have noticed as well that pressing forward attack seems to be the best thing I found so far with my possession tactics. He links up okay, but he also presses the back line and then also breaks in behind. Not a good start for our possession. I wanted to start off on extended. Right, we've not seen enough. Let's go to full match for at least a little bit here. As Gaia's got nobody short, so he whips in a cross for the corner. Let's put the tempo up by 1. So let's see how this goes then. When they reset from the corner a little bit, they're still switched around. Okay, so we've lost the ball. The pressing here. You'll notice as well the deep line playmaker support will sometimes run out and press very aggressively, especially from goal kicks. And they try and play out from the back, so be careful of that. So we're quite slow to press the centre back still, but the striker just doesn't drop in as much. But okay, so now he's done that. Now what you want in real life is you say, Haaland, you're going to curve your run, don't let it go back to him, and just force him out the other side. Don't let him come back through. Don't stand on that centre back though. It's frustrating. Look at the possession they're keeping here. It's just crazy. They're playing normally positive mentality when we looked at their tactics at the back end of last season. So they're playing positive as well. It's not mentality that they seem to keep the ball with here. Yeah, I'm not happy with that, Haaland. This is what I mean. So my CDM here, my pivot players in Ndombele, he's already sat ahead of the two pivots, the two central fielders, two Mazzalas. He's ahead of them already. So right now, if they play two strikers, there's no cover in front of the striker. So they've gone long. We're going to cover it anyway, but that's something to watch out for and potentially be an issue for you in your own tactics. Okay, I've taken passing to space off and put Be More Expressive on. The reasoning goes back to my testing off of camera actually in different save, but I just want to see how it plays out. I'm just looking at the stats really in this game. Like, the tactic's been tweaked to what it is. I'm looking more, can we win the game? Can we play well? And then what stats do we get while we play? Hopefully play well. And then Ndombele, Gavi, wide. Gavi gets it to Moukoko. And Ndombele, Erling Haaland back to Lazari. Lazari whips it in, Haaland over. So win the ball here. Josko wins it. Pedri, Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati back to Ndombele to Eric Garcia. And Ndombele, Ansu Fati on the outside of the back line goes wide. Plays it across corner. We've gone up to 57% possession here now with me taking passing to space off and putting Be More Expressive on. And is that going to be a penalty? No. I don't know why he stopped there. And Ndombele's going to get it back, play it across. Gavi plays it across to Lazari into the box. There it is, Pedri. 1-0 Barca. What a goal, boys. Well done. Dani Alves to Iniesta. Love it. Brilliant play, wasn't it? Back into our Busquets, who stepped up, plays it across to Gavi. I love when our Busquets steps up to get it off of the front line to help them recycle it. And then the left back just goes in and slots into that pivot role in case you want to go back and recycle through there again. It works really well. And then Dani Alves, far post, Pedri, 1-0. Gonna say at halftime things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better. Instant highlight, Eric Garcia, Pedri, Gaia, Ansu Fati. How are we looking then? So our Mazzala attack on that side to make an early run. Our Xavi always made a really early run. Does he want it? Does he want it in behind here? What do we think? This is going to go. He's already passed it, hasn't he? I think he's going to Erling Haaland. Haaland touch, play Gavi through goal. Oh, no, Gavi's made a really weird run for no apparent reason. Moukoko, Lazari, terrible ball. and they're going to get away with it. We're going to recycle this easily, though, and that is the end of the highlight. There you are. Highlight again, switch of play to Lazari. Lazari now plays it back into Mukoko. Mukoko whips it in. Pedri. No. Going to take off Haaland, put Daka on, and take off Fati and put on Gelson Martins, I think, here. We have got the game against Real Madrid next as well, which we need to think about. It's only in a few days as well. Gelson Martins, Pedri, give it away. Back to Josko. We have to Jose Gaia. And then Belly. Pedri to Gelson Martins to Pedri. Daka, beautiful football. Gavi, got an overload here. Mukoko, wow, just take a bow, lads. Take a bow, 2009 Barcelona. Messi says, thank you very much. I mean, I love the fact you've got the Mazzala in. I mean, he doesn't need to be there, does he? There's fine. If you get Gavi there, you've got him on the outside of the back line, then him again. You just got massive overload, positional play overload there. Mukoko, what a finish that is, 2-0. So they're going to pass it out from the back. They get it short, and we've got our CDM pressing everybody. So, I to be honest, I don't care as long as they don't keep the ball for ages. I'll take that problem for now and try and fix that later. They're going to keep the ball here, apparently. Get the ball off them, lads. Come on, press them. Make them play forwards. Awesome, play forwards. No, striker, I don't want you doing that. Pats and Daka. Oh, here we go. We're going to sit and watch Real Madrid play. 2003 Real Madrid here. Play around us like we're not even there. I've just selected focus play down left and right. And it's just because sometimes when the wide players are open, it might make us play there early and then build our attacks from there, then try and rework it back into the centre. It's just something I've done again in another save. I'm just looking to see if it'll work in this tactic, and it's going to be a penalty for Barcelona. 3-0 coming right here. We don't miss penalties at the moment. We can actually score them on a regular basis, which is good. Who's taking it? Number 12? Who is that? It's going to be Gelson Martins. 3-0. Finishes 3-0 to Barcelona with 57% possession. Let's say, well done, lads, good win for us. Now let's have a look at the actual passes completed and see if whether it's a case of the fact that we actually did dominate the passes. It's just the way that's calculating possession, whether it was just a game that was not as impressive as it should be for domination. Got back to they are the best team in the league. So 782 passes completed is pretty good against 618. Considering how good they are at keeping the ball, that's pretty good. And we just dominated them. Like, they had no chances on goal really at all. 3 shots. How many on target? 2 on target. No, that's off target. Yes, they had 3 shots, 2 off target, 0 on target. I guess a blocked shot or something for the last one. I don't know. But yeah, we dominated them. That was really, really good in a lot of areas. A few tweaks I'm just not sure about with this new match engine yet. I'm really undecided. But pressing forward attack, I was pretty certain on. If this exact tactic, I'm not entirely sure about. But it did look to do better afterwards. So we'll go pressing forward attack. I'm thinking something like this at the moment, which is going slightly wider and focusing the play onto the flanks a little more. I think it just means it stops like a nobody getting it and trying to play another top 3 ball straight away to Haaland. Maybe looks to go to Lazari, who's high and wide early. That kind of stuff. After 2 games, we have 59% average possession with 1,357 passes completed. I mean, Real Betis are on an absolute fucking domination job here. What have they played? But yeah, that is going to do it. It's a pretty easy game to come back for. We're going to come back for Real Madrid in 4 days' time. Going to play El Clasico at the Bernabeu. Pronunciations here. Thank you very much to everybody that reached out and has shown so much support and love for the series. I really do appreciate it. Like, it's just great to have so much support for the series, and I can't express enough just how grateful and happy I am that everybody's enjoying it. And hopefully, the more people we can get, the better. Like, the videos have done pretty well on this series. I think people are interested in seeing how somebody goes about this kind of thing and whether they succeed or fail, where they do, which is brilliant. That's exactly what this series is for. And yeah, I'm glad people are enjoying it. I'm glad people are finding it useful as well. And long may it continue. We're going to keep going, like we said, until we win La Liga and the Champions League 3 times in a row. That's the plan eventually. Have the club in a great financial position and try and do it with as many La Masia products as possible. As possible is the correct part of that, though. We need to make sure we win and play well. Yeah, I don't know. Like, possession's still not great. Like, we did play against the best team in the league for last year, but I just feel like that. I don't know. I think we have to watch the Clasico. We're watching the full game. Absolutely, but that was slightly disappointing in parts of that. It wasn't until we tweaked it that it got slightly better. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.